Hi guys, welcome to our final video presentation on ADSL technology, and this time we are going to look at ADSL modem configurations. When an ADSL modem is not configured, you'll not be able to connect to the internet, and if it is also configured wrongly, you will also not be able to access the internet. Hence the decision to look at some critical configurations that are necessary so that the customer is able to access the internet. As usual, Motion Marfu is my name. My email, motionmarfuskist@gmail.com, and on WhatsApp, +263 773 587388. I hope you are enjoying the videos, and I hope you have also enjoyed the first two, ADSL Technology 1 and ADSL Technology 2. Let's start on ADSL modem configuration. This ADSL modem has got some wireless functions. It can connect to our devices wirelessly or using Ethernet patch cable. And for this modem to work, it must be configured. It needs a PPP username and password for it to be allowed to access the internet by the AAA server. So we are saying, when you want to configure an ADSL modem, you must access the management interface of that particular modem, and this can be done using any browser like Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Firefox, to mention but just a few. And if you fail to access the management interface using one browser, please keep on changing. You will succeed. How do you access the management interface of an ADSL modem? You do that using a default IP address, and this IP address is set by the manufacturer and cannot be changed. Huawei modems use 192.168.1.1 as their default IP address to access their management interface. Configurations must be done, or they are mandatory, in the AAA server, in the DSLAM, as well as in the ADSL modem configuration. If you don't identify the number in the DSLAM of a particular customer, then it will be difficult to fault in the event that his line gets down. If you don't unlock the port, there won't be any connection with the TUR. And also, please, configurations are mandatory in the ADSL. To access the management interface of a particular ADSL modem, you need to know the default username and password. Without the correct default username and password, you won't be able to access the management interface. And so, if you do not know the correct username and password, you cannot configure the modem. And please take note that you can do a very good guess, a quick guess, and the most commonly used username and password are admin, but it doesn't follow. If this fails access the internet, normally they are on the internet. That's where you find every ADSL modem username and password. Please take note that the default password can be changed, but you cannot change the default username. For us to be shown this window, it means that the person has accessed the default, has accessed the management interface of particular modem using the default IP address and using any browser of his or her choice, and this page or this window was displayed as a result. This is where now you are going to enter the username and password, the default ones, so that you'll be able to configure this particular modem. As you can see, this is the key to the management interface, where you enter admin, and normally you don't save password this web page, and you click OK, and you are in it. Now, let's look at typical configurations that can be done in an ADSL modem as well as in the DSLAM. We are saying the following can be configured by designated personnel in a particular DSLAM. That is the telephone number of the subscriber. This is so that you can attend to it if it develops a fault. The download speed to which the subscriber has paid for. And you must make sure that you unlock the port. Some of the ports may be unlocked already by default, but some may be locked. If you don't unlock a port, which means the two modems on that particular line won't be able to electrically see each other. So these are basically the configurations that can be done in a particular DSLAM. In a particular ADSL modem, the following are important critical configurations. From basic, you must make sure that you select one, and you must also configure the VPI. If this is not configured, internet access is going to be denied. For example, a VPI of 0 and a VCI of 35 for a fixed network provider in Zim. Then you must make sure that you select the connection type that you are going to use. That is point-to-point protocol over Ethernet. Make sure that you select the internet from the service list. You must also configure the username and password. This is the PPP username and password, and it must be the same as the one configured in the AAA server. And by default, we want our devices or the ADSL modem to obtain an IP address automatically, and you want to enable NAT since we'll be using private IP address on our network. So we want our ADSL modem to do network address translation, which changes private IP address to public IP address so that we are given internet access. After configuring this, make sure you save. If you don't save, this all your configurations will be lost. Then when you've saved, this is what is displayed if you access the one setup summary. You want to see what we've configured, and let us go through the configurations that have been done. We are going to use port 0, our VPI is 0, and our VCI is 35. If you make an error there, internet access is denied. Virtual channel identifier, virtual path identifier. Your connection type is the most commonly used one, but this is normally supplied by the ISP, point-to-point protocol over Ethernet. We have not configured. This is not important. It's whether configured or not, it does not deny you internet access. Then service category, UBR stands for unspecified bitrate, unspecified bitrate. This is for quality of service. We want this ADSL modem to obtain and also to give IP addresses automatically. So we choose automatically assign. Then service state enabled all this, even nothing. We want it to have some firewall. We want it to block malicious files on the net. Then this is disabled. Then quality of service is disabled as well. Then we are going to save. Figure 1 to 3 shows ADSL statistics. This is after a modem has been in operation for a period of time, and when the two modems would have synchronized the standalone ATUR and the one on the ADSL cards, the ATUC. These parameters can be checked by N1 as long as you know the default username and password. The status link down. These are important. Signal to noise ratio margin. It is different on the downstream and upstream. Then attenuation, the loss in dBs. It is different. Please take note that attenuation is high on the downstream. It is higher than on the upstream. Output power, you can always check the speed, attainable rate. This would have been this is what the customer is paying for, and this is the rate according to the characteristics on a particular line. Most of these are not very important. So you must make sure that you always check. This is where you can see the quality of your line. Is your line bad? Those faults, the ADSL impedance faults, they affect signal to noise ratio, they affect attenuation, and also they affect the attainable rate as well as this rate. Please Figure 1.4 shows ADSL modem IP addresses. The IP address of a particular modem and the IP addresses that it is able to give or to allocate to devices connected to it. Its default IP address of this particular modem with this screenshot is 192.168.1.1. Then this is its default subnet mask. So this is a class A IP address. You can see that from the default subnet mask. So it means that it's the first IP address that it can allocate is 192.168.1.2 because it has allocated itself .1. The last IP address that it can give to devices connected to it is 192.168.254. .255 is a broadcast address, so it is not allocated to any device. Please take note the default subnet mask. Then this private IP address that it can give is going to be leased for a period of a day, that's 24 hours. Then this is what we call device setup. So it shows IP addresses of the modem and range of IP addresses that it can allocate to devices that are connected to it. Triple P username and password. This is the key to the internet. If this is wrong, you won't be allowed internet access. We call it the Triple P username and password. So the same username and password must be configured in the AAA server as well as in the ADSL modem. Don't rush to reset your modem when you don't know the correct Triple P username and password. So we are saying the username and password is the IP in the AAA server must be entered in the spaces provided. Triple P username, you entered there. Triple P password, you entered there. This is enabled by default. This is the maximum transmission unit of a packet. Don't change it. Then you click next when you are done. This is important. This is important. All the configurations that we have been doing are the one configurations. We are now going to configure wireless settings. And please take note that these configurations, even whether they are wrong or what, they don't have anything to do with what is in the AAA safe. Safe is set identifier. This is the name of the network. This is the name of the network. So make sure you know the name of the network before you start to establish any connection. Then for privacy, for security, this is normally chosen, but it varies from modem to modem. Advanced encryption standard /TKIP, which means your modem can use this or it can use this. So we are saying this is for security purposes, and it is possible that some devices cannot work with one encryption type and can as a result fail to access a network. Please take note of the following. Avoid condemning customers' devices before checking the encryption type. If you choose the wrong encryption type, the device can be denied connection. So make sure you, like in this case, it can use this or it can use this. If you choose this alone, when the device is configured to use this, then it won't be able to establish a connection. So don't just condemn customers' devices before checking this. Then the appreciate key, this is the key that gives you access to the SSID. So this is the password to enable computer to use that wireless LAN. Normally, the customer must give you what he or she prefers as a appreciate key. Don't impose this on subscribers. Then authentication type. This is a bit secure, but we are now on WPA2. This is a bit secure. WPA PSK. Then normally this is not configured. If you configure this, yes, it will work. Sometimes for security purposes, you want to reduce the transmit power so that maybe its power is confined to premises alone. Yes, you can configure this. You can also configure, I saw this in Huawei modems, the number of devices that can connect to it. For example, if you are 3, you can configure it to, you can configure the number of devices as such. This will allow you to determine any hackers, any intruders. Some questions, and these are easy ones. They are all acronyms. SSID Service Set Identifier, Advanced Encryption Standard, Logical Link Control, Unspecified Bitrate, Wireless Fidelity. Guys, you can check out these. I found these tips to be very important. Let's have a look at the first tip. A new ADSL modem link or ADSL light goes hard-on as long as the port in the DSLAM is unlocked and the modem in the DSLAM is working well, assuming the line is good. There is no need for configurations for this to occur. Please take note. Two modems connected back to back, as long as the line is good and the port in the DSLAM is unlocked, there is no need for configurations for the standalone modem for them to synchronize. So even if there is no PPP username or password or any of those configurations we discussed, the link will come hard on. Tip number 2, if the link or ADSL light keeps on going up and down, please check the signal to noise ratio on your line in the ADSL modem. It will be slightly above 7 if the link is up. What causes this? This happens if the line is bad due to high noise. Someone can decide to lower the speed on the port in the ADSL DSLAM. And I'm saying lowering the configured speed causes the signal noise ratio to slightly increase, thereby stabilizing the link, but it is not the actual solution. Please take note. The line needs urgent attention by technicians. Lowering the speed configured on the port is a temporary solution. Deal with the noise. Then another tip, if you hear any crackling sound on the telephone receiver, the line is unbalanced due to high resistance or corroded or loose joints. This is an enemy of ADSL. It can result in a link going up and down or lower speeds. I experienced this. Again, tips. After changing the pre-shade key, do not forget the previous pre-shade key before making a new connection. This is for the user. When you have changed the pre-shade key, advise the subscriber that for them to be able to establish a connection wirelessly to that old modem, they must forget the previously configured pre-shade key. Another tip, there are no requirements for the speed in the ADSL port to be the same as that in the AAA server for internet access as long as the line is good. This is important. This issue of saying let's have the speed configured on the port be the same as what the customer is paying, it cannot be substantiated by academic sense. As long as the line is good, they can be different. But however, I know people want to lower ports configured on ADSL modem. In other words, if a high speed is configured on the ADSL port and the line is bad, the link will constantly go up and down. So people think that is the solution. They think there will be a mismatch. There's nothing like that. Another tip, after changing the username and password in the modem, do so in the AAA server, or else that ADSL modem will be denied internet access. So it is embarrassing to leave customer with no internet after failing to have a password, a new password configured in the AAA server. Hence the reason I was saying don't rush to reset customers' ADSL modem unless you have the correct PPP username and password. Guys, using my email or on my WhatsApp, social media, you can give me some more ADSL tips. Questions. Guys, go through these questions. What steps in the chronological order are followed for a prospective ADSL customer who wants to be connected onto an ADSL network? What parameters must be configured in the ADSL modem for internet access? Guys, we discussed this. What does one session per user mean in the AAA server? State the repercussions of allowing more than one session per user. Guys, state critical configurations that, if not done correctly, deny a paid-up user internet access. That's another question. State and explain the functions of 4 configurations that are done in the DSLAM. Then last but not least, what is the effect of locking an ADSL port? When is it necessary to change from one port to another in the DSLAM? These questions, guys, are important and you must know them. Then our last slide. Any questions are welcome and will be responded to if you send them to my email or if you send them to my WhatsApp. Otherwise, this was our last presentation on ADSL technology, and in this last presentation we covered ADSL modem configuration. Otherwise, guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and to comment. Bye.